Welcome to Salty Vibes with Heather. Today I just had some thoughts. I was thinking about how when you make a change in life or relocate somewhere, and sometimes you're just kind of not realizing what you're going to do or where you're going to go, like how you end up in a certain place. Like the thing I was thinking about was like when I left my hometown when I was 21. So my firstborn was 3 months old. And I moved to Alaska with my husband. And my mom and dad had moved there. And my brother, two of my brothers. I left all my friends. I left family. Besides, that was all we had. I had no friends where we moved. And it was hard. It was dark and cold. And I had a newborn. And I had to restart my whole entire life over in this place. I had no idea where we were. And I lived there for almost 25 years. And then after I got divorced, I wanted to change. I really wanted to live by the beach or something. So I went and I did these road trips, and I went and decided to move down. I kind of talked about this in another podcast, but I decided to come down to Washington where I grew up, and got offered to live with some family, and I went to all these different states, and I'd always loved traveling. When we lived in Alaska, if I could get out in the winter, it was like the best thing ever. And I wanted to live in Hawaii or Florida, somewhere with a beach. Like waking up next to a beach was my dream. Like if I could do that. It's just Hawaii was so stinking expensive, and we had a job there with our contracting company, and just like the cost that it was for us to do all the things just to rent for our guys and stuff, our employees. And I was like, man, to live here would be fun, but also so expensive. So that was out of the question. So I moved down to my hometown. Well, technically I moved my car down here, and then I didn't really have a house or anything. I just kind of was like, well, maybe I'll go to Arizona. Maybe I'll go to California, but then California is really expensive. So I did these road trips, and I went to all these different states and thought about all the different reasons why, or scenery, or whatever. And then everything just kind of lined up for me to buy a home in my hometown. And I've been waking up trying to figure out, the last 2 years, I'm just trying to figure out, how did I end up here? This was not where I originally thought I would end up. I've even thought maybe, I'd be in Oregon, or I'd live by one of my best friends in Bend. But here I am in this small town that I grew up in, where I graduated from. And it's not a bad town. I'm close to all kinds of stuff, and I have access to lots of fun things. There's lots of things to do, but I feel content, and I feel happy, and I feel good for the most part. But then I think, how did I end up here? Why did I end up here? Am I settling? And there was reasons. My daughter wanted to come down and be with me, so I needed to buy a home, and so I bought a house from family, and everything just lined up perfectly the way it was supposed to. It was a God thing, between selling my house and getting this house, all the dates, everything just lined up. There were so many things that aligned in that time frame that just felt right. But as I'm sitting here, and I've been in this home a little over a year now, and I love it. I wake up in the morning and I think, I love this it's a tiny, cute little ranch home. And it's mine. I own it free and clear. And I think, is this the town I was supposed to end up in? Obviously I was, but I don't know. I could have done all these different things with my life. And then this is where I ended up. And I started a real estate career here. And I guess maybe I feel a little stuck at this moment in my time in my life. And there's been times when I lived in Alaska and I was really miserable and I just didn't know how to get out of a miserable marriage, and I was raising the kids and I was just like, I don't know what to do with my life and I can't figure out how to fix it. And I wanted to run. Like, I just wanted to run away all the time. And I don't feel that way. It's a different feeling that I feel. And I used to just love to like get up and travel, and making plans to go out of a state in a couple weeks. And then I have another trip planned in February. But I wanted to go somewhere like every month. Like, if I could leave, I would be happy. But now I have to make my own money, and I don't have the support of being married. I'm my own wages, but I'm debt free. But I'm trying to build a business. I'm taking care of a home. It's weird. It's like a different, and I don't know if it's the empty nest feeling. And I saw my daughter here, but she's not around much. She goes to college and she works full time and she has friends, and, she's almost 20, and your kids don't need you the same way as they did back then. And so you're just kind of in this weird part of life when you're in midlife as a woman. It's a strange feeling, and I don't know how to explain it. I know a lot of us go through it, but I'm feeling it, and I'm feeling this feeling of, and it's not really numb, but you just kind of get like, is this what I would have chosen? Is this, especially when you have a second chance. Like, I almost feel like I was given a second chance at life, and I still have no idea if I'm doing it right. Now, I don't know if I will. Maybe in 2 years, I pack up and move again when my daughter's done with college. I do feel like your kids still need you up to a certain age, especially when they're going to school and stuff. My boys are older and independent, and they don't need me as much anymore, but my daughter still does. So I think that's probably why I am here in this small town that I grew up in, and I don't hate it here. It's just not probably where I will live forever. And I kind of came to realization about that. So I just wonder, how many women out there are you guys going through this? Are you having these epiphanies, in your late 40s? Or maybe you've recently got divorced and you pretty much just raised kids and took care of the home, and all of a sudden you're like, what am I doing with my life? Like, what do I want to do? And I didn't really know. Like, I had a hard time making decisions, and when I did make them, they were wrong. And, I kind of would get like this silent treatment and punishment in my marriage. And so I would try to keep the peace and stay quiet. And so now, like I was saying in the last week's podcast, after it's been 5 years since I've separated and been divorced for 3, it's a weird spot to be in. And I've just been really thinking about it a lot. It's different. And if I had another chance to move or go somewhere else, what would I do? Where would I go? I did get, an offer to possibly move to California. And then I just decided I just up and moved. It's only been 2 years, and I didn't want to relocate and do everything all over again. I wasn't quite ready. At the time when I wanted that job 2 years ago, I would have snatched it up because I didn't have a house, but now I do. Then I'm thinking, did I get myself stuck? Like, did I get stuck by buying a house? But then I was living with family, so then I was living out of a suitcase, so I was stuck that way. And then I had a dream of I was going to get a van, and I was just going to drive around and solo travel to all the different campgrounds and explore the national parks. And then I thought, after I'd been living out of a suitcase for so long, that really wasn't what I wanted to do. It sounded cool, but I kind of like to have a home. Like, there's parts of me that love it. But there are those times where I get that itch where, like, man, I would love to not have a home to be stuck in. If I could just run far, far away and go explore. But if you think about it, like, sometimes that's just running away from your problems in your life, and we don't really always get everything we need out of running away. Sometimes we need to find it here in our home, with our friends, with our connections, and realize it takes a village when you have loving people around you, when you have your friends around you. that's what it's about. Your family, your kids, your people, your animals, your whatever it is that brings you joy. That's where the joy is. That's where the happiness lies. And it's not in going to Europe or Italy. And yes, you can go there and get these amazing experiences, but then you got to come home and you still have to do your day-to-day life, and you still have to do your job, and you still have to pay your bills. And part of being a grown-up, part of living in this adult world that we live in. And so one of my things has been the last few years to be finding the fun, of course, like I talked about, but also just to be the gratefulness. And I just want to live in the moment. I want to wake up in the morning and I want to be thankful. And I have to do that sometimes daily, remind myself more than others. Sometimes it's not easy, especially when I get into the overthinking, woe is me, or is this really where I'm supposed to be? But I believe God brings us to places for reasons. Maybe it's to meet somebody special. Maybe it's to help somebody along your path that you needed to get back in touch with. I always just feel like there's reasons, like our souls meet people for reasons. There's connections for reasons in towns that we come to and places that we come to live. And there's reasons why things fall into place and line up the way they're supposed to, because God's hand is in it. And we question it, and we wonder if it's right, and we wonder if it's where we're supposed to be. And at this moment, this is where I'm supposed to be. And yes, I live in a small mill town, not the place I imagined that I would be doing my fresh start in. But there's so many good things about it, and so many people that I love that are here, so many good friends that I'm going to be thankful for every day. I'm going to love it. I'm going to be content. And even when I feel like running away, I'm not going to run away. And so I just want to encourage you in this time, if you ever feel that way, it's perfectly normal. It's part of life. And sometimes we just aren't always happy. We shouldn't be happy 100% of the time. We should feel our emotions, and we should, be sad, angry, fearful. I mean, we're giving those emotions for a reason. And that's a good time I encourage you to connect with a friend you haven't seen in a while, or a family member, or just text someone, hey, I've been thinking about you. Because maybe they're feeling that same way too, and they need to go get a cup of coffee with you. Sometimes I feel like I reach out to a lot of people because we're all so busy, and I try to be more thoughtful in that area, because I know when I was going through my rough patch with my divorce, I wanted to shut everybody out. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I didn't want to see friends. And I had a couple friends that would call me up, make me go out to dinner, make me go to the gym. And if it wasn't for them, and my kids, I probably wouldn't have got through what I went through. And sometimes we need that encouragement, even if it feels like you're the only one reaching out all the time. Sometimes in that season of life, they need you. The person needs you. So in this holiday season, when some people maybe are lonely or feeling lonely, or maybe they feel like they reach out all the time and are being ignored because everybody's so busy, I just want to encourage you today to reach out. Tell someone you love them. Be content where you are, and know that this is just a season. It's not forever. And in a year or 2 years, your whole life could be different than it is today. And it's always for the better. And there's always a reason why we are where we are. And sometimes it's just getting our mind to realize and write it down and be like, I'm thankful for today. I'm thankful for the moment that I'm in. I'm thankful for this cup of coffee sitting here on my couch watching my favorite show. Am I doing something exciting today? No. But I'm alive and I'm breathing and I'm happy in this moment. I am grateful. So if you would love life coaching or help with anything with trauma and grief coaching, I would love to help you. My website is Life of Salty Kisses. I am still working on everything to get it to where I want it to be. Like I said, started Scrappy. I've done this for several times trying to grow this, and then fear gets in the way. And so I feel like this is my time. God is saying this is for you to do right now, Heather. And so I am working on this. I will be posting my links below. This is a podcast I will be posting weekly. I hope to do more as I get better at it, as I come up with more content. Sometimes I just have to lay there and think and kind of realize, okay, well, what do I want to talk about today? But yeah, I just want to be able to encourage you. So follow my Instagram page. I'll leave all that below. Thank you for subscribing and have a great week.